20 seconds. And good afternoon. Welcome to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. Catherine Tyson, your host. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It is Wednesday. That means it's hump day for some people, over the hump of the, middle of the week type of thing. We're sliding into the weekend soon. But it's also Wellness Wednesdays on Straight Talk, and we come on Wednesdays and we want to talk about your health and we want to talk about the whole mind and body and spirit and all of that stuff and how we're taking care of ourselves because it's so important. It's a journey, and if we're going to be on the journey, we might as well be our best on the journey. That's what I think, right? Be your best on the journey. And that would mean not just your physical self, not just your mental self, but your emotional self, your psychological self, all of it. Yeah? So I have a quote from Deepak Chopra. Every negative belief weakens the partnership between mind and body. Okay? And we talk about that a lot on Wellness Wednesdays. I talk about it a lot, period. Just about what you're thinking, what you're putting out there into the universe, right? What you're bringing back on yourself. So thinking good thoughts and kind thoughts. And, a lot of people always ask me, how do you look so young? I say, because I think good thoughts about people. I love that, right? Because it's the truth. I have no reason to think negative about people. Like I want you to do well. I want us all to do well. I want us all to win, And so I love that. Every negative belief weakens the partnership between mind and body. That's Deepak Chopra for sure. Thomas Edison said, the doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will instruct his patients in care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Not too many doctors want to hear that, but it is such the truth, right? What you're eating, what you're feeding your mind, what you're feeding your body, as opposed to just waiting to take a pill. Yeah? All right. I have chosen to be happy because it is good for my health. That is Voltaire. All of those quotes are basically just saying, listen, what are your choices? How are you doing? How are you doing okay? And how are you not doing okay? What are you thinking? And how are you taking care of yourself? Welcome again to the show. This is your Wellness Wednesday Straight Talk Drive at 5 show. And thank you for joining me. 943-3700 if you wanted to chat, if you wanted to say something, ask a question. We are here. Or WhatsApp me, 939-2223. All right? I want to just go straight into introducing my guest this afternoon, right? Just to bring her on the air, wanted to actually share her story this afternoon. So Miss Cherry Smith, a friend of mine, we go way back. I'm going to push that mic a little bit closer to you, bring it closer so that we can hear you. All right. And, a friend of mine that we go way back. Yeah, I mean, I've known you for a long time. We're still young women, but, right? But,
Right.
I wanted to bring you on this afternoon. You would always be someone that I'd want to bring on anyway because of your healthy lifestyle, because of us always talking about that over the years, how you eat, how you take care of yourself, how you stay fabulously, in whatever age you are. And you're in your 50s, or you're fabulously 50. And I kind of look up to you and think, all right, am I on track here? What am I doing? What am I doing with myself? But, I spoke with you a little while back and understood that you had actually had a stroke.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And I thought,
Yep.
oh my goodness. Now, this is definitely an opportunity to really bring you to the Straight Talk audience to talk about that experience just because, when people think about stuff like that, they think about, oh, it could never happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. It's happening to this one, but not me. But it actually happened to you. So can you just talk to us a little bit about it? Tell me, so when was it that you had the first stroke?
Well, Catherine, thank you for having me here with you. And yes, we go back quite a while, I would
Yeah.
say, with our friendship. So I had my stroke in 2017, in May 2017. And in November 2017, I had another one, a minor one. But I've been now told that my old stroke, the main stroke, is what is catching up with me.
Okay. All right.
No, it's giving
Okay.
me the symptoms are a little rougher than before.
Okay, so that's interesting. So in 2017, and now you're kind of getting some almost like residual stuff a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm healing maybe because they say you have to get worse before you can get better health wise.
Right.
And for me, a stroke was my body trying to recondition itself or something, because actually, I didn't tell you this before, but I found myself being able to eat yogurt and stuff that I would crave yogurt actually.
Before it?
After the
Okay.
stroke,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah. So I could actually have stuff that I didn't have before.
Okay.
I even sneeze differently.
Really?
Yes.
So it was like almost like a different person kind of emerged a little bit.
Well, sort of, yes, sort of, yes.
Okay, that's interesting. So let's talk a little bit about just about the whole experience. So can you kind of take us through it? Like just tell us did you know what was happening? Like what were some of the signs, and what do you think might have been like a cause for it? Because there's so much mystery around this stuff. I think you have some thoughts on this yourself.
Well, yes, I do, because that's why my only thing is that my body was trying to readjust itself. Because when I listened to other people and why they had a stroke, they probably didn't even know, but they just had it. But I think, well, first of all, I had on a woman's patch.
It's like the estrogen
The
patch
estrogen
thing?
patch,
Okay.
yes, I had one of those on. And as I went into the hospital the Friday morning, Minister One, the doctor in the morning, she came in, she said, well, even a patch can give her this stroke.
Okay.
Because she was much younger. And I'm like, oh, and I just tore it off.
Okay. And you had it on for what reason? So what kind of patch was that, and you had it on for what reason?
Well, I was going through menopause, actually, and my estrogen levels were really, really low.
Okay.
Dr. Adelson told me that they were low, the low below the low. So I went to him actually and begged him to give me the stroke.
Sorry, not the stroke.
Not the stroke.
Okay. All right.
Yes, just give me the patch. And, even if you read the patch, it tells you it can't give you a stroke.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it does say that.
It does say
all right.
that, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. It says that.
Yes.
Okay. And you said, you know what, I'm taking my chances.
Yes, because I wanted relief from the symptoms of menopause. Because I was having these heat things. I was highly sensitive to electricity. I became so. I was actually, my washer, the electricity was really high in the washer, dryer area, and I didn't understand what was going on. But when I went to him, he told me that my hormone levels were too low.
Okay.
So it was like a low below, too low,
Yeah.
And I needed to bring it up. But okay. I was using the one that you rub on your arm, and for me it wasn't going quick enough.
Okay. And so you wanted something else. So you got something else.
And I got something else, and I got the patch, and then I got the stroke.
So how long did you have the patch before you had the stroke?
It wasn't very long, actually. A couple of months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of feeling like that might have been what brought it on. All right. So talk to us about that moment that you were in the process, kind of, having a stroke. Tell us about that.
Well, it was about midnight that I had the stroke, and I tried to get up, and I just could not get up. Because when I was trying to use my left arm to raise my body, and I realized that my left leg was not cooperating.
Okay.
And I just basically could not move. So I pushed myself to go to the bathroom, and then I said, you know what? My ears felt like when on cartoons when you see people get angry and the stuff is coming out of their ears,
like the steam.
The steam.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, and I felt like something was over my head.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So.
And you don't have high blood pressure?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I do. I had my last child. I took some type of painkiller and for headaches, because I used to have a lot of migraines. And it was one of those that are sodium. There's sodium base, and it threw my pressure up.
Okay.
So when I had my last child, I went into preeclampsia.
Okay. Right.
And then so ever that I had a high blood pressure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but thank goodness he's 22 now or so.
Yeah.
so that was a long time.
Okay, so you don't currently suffer from high blood pressure then?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
okay.
I could not get rid of the high blood pressure because, like, someone was telling me yesterday, she said, Cherry, she says, the doctor said that, and I didn't know this, but she says that once you take high blood pressure medication, what they don't tell you is that, because she said another doctor told her this, that there's an ingredient in there that keeps your blood pressure from being too high.
Okay.
And once you stop taking it, it kicks in.
Okay.
Because it builds up in your system.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I really can't, because some people say, oh, you need to stop taking it. But after a while, it's like my blood pressure goes crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're in the process of having a stroke. So what's happening?
Well, I asked the lady with me. She was my B&B guest, and I asked if she would call 911. So she called 911. They came, and my blood pressure was about 205 or 12, something like that, over some high number. So I said, because of how I couldn't really speak and I was crying. I went into this emotional thing, and the guy said to me, he said, Cherry, said, you had a stroke. I said, yes, I can feel it. And he took me into the hospital. So thankfully, I came out I went in Friday morning, spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and came out Sunday evening.
Okay. And you couldn't move your which side?
Left
side.
I had a right side stroke, so my left arm. I can move it. I can move my fingers, but
at that moment you couldn't though. You were unable to move. So you because you were telling me that you kept moving. You could feel something happening.
No, I could move, but I knew that something had happened.
Okay.
But I couldn't walk properly.
Okay.
So when I went to physiotherapy, he told me that I had a stroke of the nerves.
Okay.
Not a muscular stroke.
Okay.
Because I don't know, some people do, and I can, as you can see, I can move my arm, my hands, whatever, however I want. The fascia is getting a little too tight, and it feels like I'm holding sand.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so after that, then I guess you were given some medications, right? So you were put on medication?
Yeah, I was put on I was put on Plavix, I was put on about 3 different meds, and one for cholesterol. And I don't want anybody to take me as an example, but I stopped taking the cholesterol ones.
Okay.
Because I understood that the nervous system is made up of cholesterol.
Okay.
And I don't take the cholesterol tablets. I'll take the 81 milligrams of aspirin, which is a blood thinner. And I don't do that every day, even though that's what they advised me to do.
Okay.
But I was gone about 3 months without taking it. Now I'm taking it again.
Okay.
So.
And so I'm imagining, because I know you, obviously, and I know that you read a lot, and I know that you study a lot. I'm imagining that you're making these decisions based on information that you're gathering.
Well, yeah, I do read a lot, and I do keep up on. I have a 4-year degree in biology and a 2-year in medical technology, so I do have a background with the doctors and the hospital. So, but yeah, I do read a lot, because anything they give me, I would say, well, make a decision whether I would take it or not. So that's what the decision I had to make with my taking a cholesterol tablet.
Okay.
So also right now that I'm talking with you, I'm getting a little headachy, because that's what it does to me.
Okay.
Because the whole left side is like not too good. So my lip, but you couldn't really tell unless I say so.
Yeah, I can't tell at all.
Yeah.
So I think, no, I can't at all. But I know what you said is that obviously it affected your brain. So how
Yeah.
did it affect you? Like what did you learn about your stroke and how it affected you?
Well, I saw the MRI and I saw that the middle part between the two lobes had died.
Okay.
So it was that area. Um, I don't even want to really sleep at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even dream anymore.
Wow. Okay.
So
So is that so the kind of the area in your brain that I guess allows us to sleep? You're thinking that was affected?
I would say because
Wow.
before I could sleep properly, but now I'll go lay down and I have to be really really tired. And maybe like someone said to me, said, Cherry, you have to push yourself and push off that extra energy.
Right.
So I'll go walking now but it's a little more difficult to walk.
Right.
And I'm tired more. So that's another downside of having a stroke is the tiredness.
Okay.
So
So
I don't know.
Yeah. So without this sleep, are you feeling exhausted or no? Because if that part of your like you know what I mean, like what's the connection between that part of your brain and the kind of physicalness of it? And are you able to take naps during the day then to kind of make up for your
I used
lack of
I
sleep?
used to be able to take naps. Sometimes yes, it's easier for me to take a nap in the daytime than go to sleep at night.
Okay.
So I really don't know all about that part, but I'm always open to learning new things, even
Yeah.
if somebody else want to call in and
Right.
actually share some experience with us.
Yeah, that would be good. I
Yeah.
mean, if you are listening and you wanted to, just chat with us, 943-3700, we would love to hear from you. So especially if it happened to you or if, someone that you know it happened to and you just wanted to share that would be great. Yeah, we would love to have that call. I know a lot of people who came on, we love to listen, listeners. Because a lot of people see me on the road and they say, "Oh, I've heard your show was really good. I love that." And they tell me who was on. They'll tell me what we said, but you might not get the call. So don't be shy. Call in. I wanted to ask you also. You said it did affect your memory.
Yes, I have really, really poor short-term memory.
Okay. Now I know in menopause, I got to have another show about that. I know that it's affected that way as well, but it's very different from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a little different because I went through menopause for many years. Actually, it was happening to me. I did gain weight to where I like being 151.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys.
You look good.
Thank you.
Okay.
And yeah, talking to you right now, yes, it does feel like there's something going on, but maybe because I'm using a part of me that has died.
Maybe the thought process.
Yes, I think the thought process is a little giving me a challenge, but it's a good challenge.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I see this all as a challenge. Okay, I don't see it as a death sentence.
Okay.
At all. It was not a death sentence.
Good.
Because I want to live long.
Yeah. So it was kind of a wake up call for you too.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that you see it as a challenge. Like I said, I've always kind of looked up to you for the way that you eat and your diet and like if anybody talks about medicine, you're the first one to say, no, don't take that. Let's look this up. Let's see what can work for that. And, always like healthy alternatives and stuff. So I think a part of maybe that part of your whole lifestyle anyway might have been good for you in this situation. Do you think that?
Yes, because the doctor even said that to me. He said, Cherry, he said, because of you being healthy before, that's why you have done so well.
Yeah.
With the stroke. So because I just want to live, like I said, and I have this mentality. Even when I was growing up, I remember when I was 18, 19, I used to walk East End to High Rock and back, and people say, "Well, why are you walking? You're so small already."
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think of was I want to be young. I want to be young. I want to be young.
Okay. I'm going backward. I'm aging backwards.
Yes, yeah.
If that's the thing.
But it actually was for the forwardness of it that I was looking for.
Wow.
That was helping me because also I did a lot of, like you were talking about negativity.
Yes.
And I can say for sure that if I was more negative, if I had still had the negativity that I used to have, I wouldn't have done so well with this.
Well, absolutely, and I completely agree with that. I had another quote. A sad soul can be just as lethal as a germ. John Steinbeck said that. You know, and and I think he's the author of East of Eden. Not sure. I think maybe, but a sad soul can be just as lethal as a germ. I love that because people that kind of, you'll meet people sometimes, and I've met people that have been sick, or they had a stroke, or they had a heart attack, or something, or they've been diagnosed with something, and you can just see the sadness, right? And I always think to myself sometimes when I see that in somebody, as opposed to someone who's saying, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to change my lifestyle, I'm going to fight through this. There's such a difference with both people, because I believe that you kind of will yourself sometimes to health.
Yeah, you will yourself to everything.
Yeah, I believe that. And you also said you had lost a lot of weight during that time, and then you were talking about how you kind of gained that back. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well,
So after the stroke, then
after the stroke, yes, my weight dropped to 107, which
Wow.
is really
I mean,
small.
we couldn't. I'm sure we couldn't see you. That's really small, because you're a tiny woman anyway.
I didn't have no bottom.
Oh,
my
my
bottom
goodness.
dropped off, and I'm like,
I mean, Cayman, we can't have that.
I know, right?
But yeah, okay.
So I started eating more because my appetite had left me. So
Okay.
I still have problems with my appetite even now, because my taste buds, my saliva glands, they're overactive. So I have this sourness in my mouth all day, and I can be sucking on it. So I just suck it back in.
Yeah.
But
so after that, then you kind of just, like you said, you lost your appetite and you stopped wanting to eat.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So I lost the weight because of that, and then I started to put it back on. But mentally, it was like, oh, I want to gain weight, but I don't want to gain too much weight. So mentally, I got into the space of I'll go to 150.
Okay.
160.
Okay.
So I'm now 151 pounds. So I feel good.
And you had gone down to 107. So I just want to make that comparison from 107. And what were you before the 107?
I was in 125 to 130.
Okay.
125 to 130. I was always fluctuating somewhere in there all the time.
So you kind of lost about 20 pounds, 25 pounds. And then you actually gained about 25 pounds, and then your body's accustomed to having, but you're happy at this weight.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy at this weight. I could feel the difference when I gained the weight, and then now it's like I'm okay with it, because I knew what was happening all along, and I knew that I would have a little discomfort somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person like this, that there's a reason for why I had the stroke.
Right.
That's
it.
Yeah, there's a reason for everything under the sun. Yes. So I'm still trying to figure it out.
Trying to figure out what it was. But lots of learnings in the middle of it. So, and for the listeners that are hearing us talking about weights and 107 and 125 and 150, it's all really relative at the end of the day. And so I just want to make that kind of clear. It's not any rule or indication for anyone else, but for you, just me knowing what size you were and how you were such a exercise person. Like, you're always exercising, always eating properly. So you know what I mean. But for you to say, you know what, I'm fine at 151, because here's a part of a result of something that's happened to me that's very serious. Yeah. Right, and I'm able to look at it in such a different way, and the learnings that I would get from that.
Yeah, because even more so with that comes, I have a closet full of clothes I had to give away.
Right.
So I hardly have anything that fits me properly, but I'm still okay with that, because one day, I'm going to be rich. I don't buy whatever size I want.
Okay.
Whatever, so. Right. But yeah,
Now you were talking about
have that issue.
visualizing losing that weight. Talk to me a little bit about that whole
Well,
visualizing thing you were
I
talking about.
didn't have a problem visualizing. I have no. I mean, it was no problem. I had to visualize gain, and it actually
Oh, right. Okay.
gaining it.
Okay. So that's right. Visualizing the weight back on.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
Because you knew you weren't at a healthy weight.
right, yeah, 107
Okay.
is not healthy for me.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
it could be healthy for someone else.
Right.
So I had to visualize how am I going to gain this back. So I started eating again
Okay.
and loving food, but I started looking at my foods in a different manner. So I ate a lot of cream of wheat porridge, like
We went back to
breakfast.
your grandmother days then.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now I hardly want cream of wheat
Okay.
because I'm trying to stay away from grains because that's a
Okay.
whole other topic. The
Okay.
grains, we were not basically meant to eat grains, you see.
Okay. Okay.
So they have something called green brain where you can get drunk with brain with eating them. You know, the carbohydrate can turn
Okay.
into alcohol and
Okay.
etc. But yeah. So right now I'm
So visualizing the weight back on.
yeah visualizing it back on, and here I am.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. So now let's just for a couple of seconds just talk about the whole visualization process because we talk about visualization a lot with manifestations, right? Like
Right, right,
manifesting the life
right,
that you want. People
right,
say
yeah.
you can manifest a husband, you
Right,
can
yeah,
manifest a good job,
right,
you can
yes,
manifest money. I mean,
yes,
right?
yes,
And so
yes,
that's kind of that visualization, and you believe in that. You really believe, and it is kind of that positive thinking that seeing it as it is, knowing that it has happened, and then you're just waiting for it to happen.
yeah, because we do it every day. We manifest our own life many days. It's not a productive life, maybe. It maybe it's not richness, but
Right.
we can manifest our poverty.
I mean, that is so true.
You know,
Yeah.
we manifest poverty.
Yeah.
By you hear some people saying, "Oh, me, I'm not rich.
Yeah.
I'm not rich.
I'm broke.
I'm
always broke. I don't have
Right,
no
yeah,
money.
right.
I don't have nothing.
That's
Yeah.
a good one because many times we have more than other people out
So
there.
many
So
people.
yes, there's
So
so
many
many people
people.
and Cayman is in a whole. Even if it's a downturn in the economy for us, we still are doing better than other people. We have a roof over our heads.
Right.
It may be expensive, but hello, that's just how it is.
Right. Right.
And we have food to eat. We
Right.
have it's mango season.
That's
Have
right.
lots of mangoes to eat.
That's right.
You know, so I manifested my weight gain by just they say think a big bubble.
Yeah.
Because you have to also and all this I learned from all those great people who talk about manifestations
Okay.
and whatever.
All right. Good.
So you must think about where you want to go, where you want to be. So I had to have an ending weight and a beginning weight. So I had the 107 to begin with.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, Cherry, I want to gain weight. And then when I got to 115, I saw my bottom being too big.
Yeah. Because before you didn't have one, now it's too much. So
that's
yeah.
too much. So it's like,
Okay.
okay, this is where I want to be.
Okay. So it's like this. I can stop here.
I can stop here.
Okay. So then the cream of wheat came off.
Yes, it came off so often.
Came off of the menu.
The cream of wheat and the coconut milk came off.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And and that's all like literally. I think because of your will to live, because this thing happened to you, this thing that you didn't expect to happen to you, it did, and so now you got a second chance, right? That
Right.
you're going to be okay, and so now you're going to work towards your health. So that's all really really important. I want to thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be back. We're talking with Cherry Smith. She is in her 50s. She looks fabulous, and she had a stroke in 2017. This is your Wellness Wednesday show today, and that's what we're talking about. 943-3700. Stay tuned, but please call us. And if you know someone or you have a question or anything, 939-2223. You can WhatsApp me. We will be back with more. Just stay tuned. This is your Straight Talk Private Pie show. And I am your host, Catherine Tyson. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. Catherine Tyson, your host. This is Wellness Wednesdays, and we are talking with Cherry Smith. She is a young 50s lady, and she had a stroke in 2017. And we're just, sharing her story. She's sharing her story with us this afternoon, and just talking about, when things like this happen to you, and it can happen to anyone, regardless of what you're doing. You don't even know. That's the thing about it, right, Cherry? You don't even know that this is gonna happen. It's like no matter what you're doing to avoid this, life throws us these things, and we just got to be able to catch them, land on our feet, and keep it moving. But living a healthy lifestyle before is so important, because that is kind of what helps see you through some of these things.
Yeah, I had the doctor tell me that. He said, Cherry, he said, you were exercising and everything. He said, that's what has helped you through this.
Yeah.
But I must say, Catherine, what you just said wasn't entirely correct, because I remember thinking back that while going around the Butterfield roundabout there by A.L. Thompson,
Okay.
I would go fuzzy and I would get lost.
Oh, wow.
So I had this happen to me about 3 times, and that I think was part of the warning.
Those could have been warnings.
Yeah, they were
wow.
warning. Yeah, and I also read where migraines are mini strokes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A migraine headache, and I used to have a lot of them.
Okay.
At work, I
Right.
couldn't eat chocolate. I couldn't have. That I told you before that I could eat yogurt. I couldn't even have yogurt.
Okay.
Because of the sugar. So even now, I'm assimilating sugar differently, but I'm trying to cut it out of my diet. Also, because sugar, like we know, not very good for us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you were always that way with sugar. You could use honey.
Honey, yes.
Yeah. Instead. It's really interesting what you just said, and I think, like, for all of us that are listening, for the listening audience, for myself, to think about the warnings sometimes that we do get, and we kind of pass it off as, it was just a really bad headache. Oh, I just got fuzzy for a second, but it's like, no, that's not exactly the norm. So check it out.
Yeah, we do get those warning signs. You know, because that's why it's not good always to pop maybe an aspirin, but not good to pop Tylenol and stuff if you have a headache. But I think sometimes, or many times, you should go and check it out. But sometimes even then, we don't even know what to check it out for.
Right. And what's really important is to get a trusted physician, somebody that you trust.
Not someone you can talk with.
Not just who's available,
right,
you know what I mean, at the hospital or
That's
wherever you go, but to really get someone to have a relationship with that person, that they know you, they can talk with you about your issues, they have time for you. I always say that's so important, to really have someone that, not saying, oh, you're fine, oh, don't worry about it, and just trying to get you out to get the next patient in. So it is important. 943-3700. I'm looking for a call. Come on, all of you hailing me up. The young lady in the bank that said she listened to the show, I hope you're listening. Call us, 943-3700. I'm not going to call your name, but thank you for listening for sure. Cherry, I want to ask you a question. How has your life changed? Like, what are you valuing now versus then, maybe? Like, is your life kind of indicative of before the stroke and after the stroke?
Yes.
Okay.
We get.
You didn't have to think about that.
Because it gets thrown at us, because my relationship with my mom wasn't the best, so that has stood out with me also, because highly stood out. But I've gotten more calm, and I really don't care what people think about me.
Good.
And
you didn't too care before either, so now you're just sailing along.
I'm just sailing along in my little zen out world, because I may throw these words at you that you've heard before, but it's the truth. I can be the peace that passeth understanding.
Right.
Because you might hear me say, "Oh, Catherine, don't worry about it," because everything in this earth has a reason.
All right. It's absolutely.
It does. Yes, it has a reason.
I spend a little time thinking about it. I advise people all the time to think about their life, to go backwards, and to kind of make sense of the stuff that's happened that's brought them to where they are.
Mhm.
So if you're dealing with any angst, if you're dealing with any unresolved feelings or things that you don't even know why you feel this way about something, like if somebody just irks you, like you just can't stand somebody, or you go to work and you just, that person, like what is that person doing? You have to start thinking, how is it affecting you? Like go back to figure out, what is it that I need to find out about me in order for me to be okay? Does that make sense?
Mhm. Mhm.
I think
Does,
we
yes.
walk around with all of this baggage and we walk around with all of this pain and we don't even realize that we can start unpacking it ourselves, right?
Well, this is part of what they mean by don't sweat the small stuff.
Right.
Because that's all small stuff.
It's all small stuff.
Because we're all human, and human, I'm a soul, right? And
Right.
you're a soul. But this is a human experience we're having.
Right.
So we need to realize that the human in us is going to take it out of proportion.
Right.
The soul in us is going to look, oh, remember, and oh, okay, that's okay. So if you can bring your soul to where you're living more from your soul,
up a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah. Bring your existence up a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's your soul. You can do a lot better.
That makes so much sense. Joyce Mayer says, remain calm because peace equals power.
Yes.
I believe that too. I believe that the
Yeah.
person that is peaceful is more powerful than the person that's carrying on.
Yeah.
You know, today we were in a restaurant and, a group of ladies came in, and as soon as they came in, I kind of felt this heaviness. I felt like a weight was brought into the restaurant. It was the weirdest thing. I don't have moments like that a lot, but when I do have moments like that, I'm very, very aware. And it just felt like, they were just carrying something on their soul, and they sat directly behind us, and I wanted to move from that spot. Like I think we left soon after that because I did feel it, and I felt like, you know what? I don't want that on me. And that might sound weird, but I think why I'm saying that today, because it is Wellness Wednesdays, I am talking to the audience about, just going through something and something very serious and having to work through it, but also to be in tune with yourself. Mm-hmm. So if you're not feeling good or you're not feeling something, get yourself from that space. Get yourself to safety.
Well, how it is with me, Catherine, I could look at those three women and I almost had to question you did you know them?
I didn't. Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, why are you getting on so much about them?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could put them where they were in their little package.
Yeah.
Because when I was walking out, the lady, the same one, the dark lady, like the mother of the group, she was smiling at me, looking at me and smiling. That's why I said, Catherine, she's smiling. You said, well, that's a change.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that she unloaded whatever. I'm glad that whatever she brought in, she was able to unload. Maybe she was getting some food. Maybe she was hungry. Maybe she was hangry. I don't know, whatever. Maybe. But it was just, it was very, very strange. And I talked to, kind of energy people about stuff like that, and they'll say stuff like, it's like your demons. It's kind of like your demons did not sit right with you.
Right.
Like that. So right away, they don't know you, but they're looking at something that is happening right there. But what I'm saying in situations like that is, instead of me feeling like something is wrong or I did something wrong or they did something wrong, if I'm not feeling comfortable, I'm okay with moving myself, physically moving myself from that frame. And so there are people that are in our lives sometimes. They could be people that, we hang out with regularly and they don't make us feel good, but we still hang on to them. Those are not good things for our bodies either. Those are kind of toxic things that we keep, taking on. So I think like we have to get ourselves to safety. And in situations like this, sometimes I find when you hear all these stories about young people, 40s and 50s, that maybe having heart attacks or maybe ending up really sick, to really start reevaluating what's going on in your life to kind of get to the bottom of it as well. You were able to say you felt it was the estrogen patch, right? Because shortly after that, this thing happened to you. And then the warning is on there that it could happen.
Right, yeah. Because the kind of stepping back with what you were talking about, we were talking about these ladies too. Like, I think for me, we have to just be able to look at them and say, oh, they're human too.
Right.
Be an observer. Because that's what I am. It's an observer. So if when you can observe and say, oh, she's not well today. Oh, she's angry. She's upset. And then, yes, we can turn it around and say, okay, this one in my family, I don't like that person.
Right.
You know,
Right.
why are you here?
Yeah.
But, okay, why am I here?
Yeah.
I can ask the same question to me. I'm here to learn.
Right.
So if I'm here to learn, who's going to teach me?
Yeah. And so you mean on this earth, right?
On this earth.
Okay.
So someone is teaching you.
Well, we're learning all the time.
All the time.
Through everything.
Right.
The bad, the good,
yes,
the middle ground. Yeah.
And then, you can just, after a while, you learn how to look at things. Because I had to learn how to look at people. Also, like, okay, I'm learning, but you're teaching me. So you're my teacher today.
Yeah.
So what did I learn today?
Wow. All right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm learning in here right now. You're hearing the voice of Cherry Smith. She had a stroke. She's sharing her story with us in 2017. I'm really glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that you're feeling better, and at least you're working towards that. You're fighting to live. You're fighting to live.
Yeah,
I like that fight.
Yeah, I'm fighting to live, and I also had to change my physiotherapist.
Okay.
And I'll give this little kudos out to Feelings.
Okay.
Philans. He's one of the best, and on island. He tells me he's uses robotics for his stroke victims and whatever sportsmanship injuries and whatnot like that. Yeah.
So he's doing. Is it physio with you? Shockwave? What's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing T-car wave. The T-car wave.
What is that?
Girl, you would have to Google that.
Okay. All right.
Google that. Yes. That is the word, Google.
Okay. All right.
And then
I know the word Google.
I know, right? And then the shock wave.
Okay.
Which is just like it says, a shock, and then it's a wave that goes through your body. So he does all that, and he does the manual massaging, and he uses polar ice a lot on me. When he's doing the manual massaging, and he uses the essences, the oil essences. Yeah.
So that's a regular thing you do, like weekly?
Yeah, weekly. Yeah.
And you've been doing that ever since?
No. Well, I started a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
August coming is a year.
So you didn't do it right after?
No, because I didn't have no reason to, because my body was cooperating, let's put it that way, or not cooperating, but I mean, I could walk, I could do my gardening.
Okay.
I could do all those strange things that I used to do before, but now it's like I'm exhausted, more and more tired, I'm more, because I think I'm healing.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's all I can say.
So you started feeling the little changes, and then you said, okay, let me go and check that out, and then kind of got involved with the physiotherapy.
Well, because I would go back to the doctors, and they say, well, one doctor said to me, well, Terry, he said, all this will clear up within X amount of months by the time you come back to me, and it didn't.
Oh, okay.
So that's when he said, like, yeah.
So what do you pay attention to more, like in terms of your body, since this happened to you? Is there something that you are more in tune with? Like you said, you were a little fuzzy before, so you're looking at things like that. Anything that happens, then you're paying more attention. You find you're acutely aware.
Well, everything that happens within me, I'm acutely aware of it now, and the pain in my shoulder, and the pain in my arm, and the pain in my side.
There's a lot of pain. But you know what? 50s is pain anyway. I had a discussion with a couple of ladies over 50, and everyone agreed they're in pain right then.
Yeah.
Like, there's something hurting me right now. So you know what I mean?
Well, I know exactly what you mean, because I haven't had a life that I wasn't free of pain.
Okay.
All the time I know myself, I had pain somewhere. I had migraine headaches, or I had something, So let's put it this way: I have a past life that I'm taking care of in this life.
Okay.
Because I was actually literally racked in a past life. I was put on 4 horses and torn apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this may shock some of
you.
Well,
yeah, it's shocking. I'm sure it is.
But it's a past life.
Okay.
So I've had to take care of it.
How do you know that?
Well, I went to two ladies. One was Shalimar in Washington, and she did a lot of work with me. The other one is um, um, um,
Okay.
what is her name now?
Yeah, we might not remember her name.
Yeah, but somebody that lives on island.
Okay.
She probably doesn't want me
She
to remember
probably,
that.
thank you, exactly.
know.
Don't be calling her name.
I know, right? And
But it was just kind of you traveled a little bit in some studies and figured out what you
these were
in.
long distance calls.
Okay.
I did it all on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Because Shyla deals with energy work. And
Okay.
she's one of those gifted people that she can see you. She needs a picture of you, but she can visualize me
Okay.
at where I'm at. And she
Okay.
tells me, lay down and I'll work on this and I'll work on that. But my son
Okay.
can see my internals with his hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So here's another one for you. So he said to me, he said, Mommy, you have something purple coming out between the ribs in your chest.
Okay. When did he say that? How old was he?
I think he was about 14.
Okay. All right.
14, 15. So he realized he had this gift that he could see the light with his hands. He could see that. Remember, we were saying you light bodies.
Okay.
The human,
Yeah.
HU is the human.
Yeah.
And he said, Mom, there's all this purple thing coming out of you between the intercostal muscles. And I used to, not on this level, on another dimension,
Right.
he was seeing it. And I said, draw it for me. He would draw it, and then I could send it to Shyla.
Okay.
And Shyla said, oh, okay, once he can draw it, I can know what it is that you're talking about. And sure enough, I used to go to another Dr. Allison all the time for my hemoglobin levels. I was anemic. He would get it up, it would go down. He would get it up, it would go down. So he after she healed that, because she told me, she said, Cherry, she said, I said, is this a past life? She said, yes, it's a past life thing.
This is the person in Washington.
Yeah, in Washington.
Okay.
So because you can use your little pendulum and get a yes or no.
Okay.
Or you can use people as pendulums, or you can use yourself as a pendulum.
Okay.
But I have to use a regular pendulum to get the yes or no answer. But she would say to me whatever, and she said, yeah, it's a past life issue. So she would do what she had to do, and after she did that, I didn't go back. My hemoglobin levels have been okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what old people say, belief kills and belief cures.
No, this wasn't nothing but to do with belief. Whether it one believe it or not, it was happening.
Okay.
Yeah, it was happening within me. I didn't know what was happening, why my hemoglobin wouldn't keep up. Because the doctor would put me on medication, on the iron pills, and then it would go up, and then it would come right back down. Okay. Go up to 16, 18, come right back down to 9, 10, okay. Or 6 even sometimes. So I she said, yeah, this is what's happening with me. So.
Yeah. Did you think any of that might have affected the stroke at all, or do you think it might have been connected?
Well, no. I don't think. I think the stroke is for this lifetime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my past life. I took care of that one.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it just seems like you're working a lot. Yes. On different levels anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what's important. What is it that you how are you using like what's happened to you, or are you using what's happened to you to, I don't know, help other people? Because I feel that from you. I almost feel like,
well, I'm a talker.
Yes.
I like to talk, so I can talk to you. Whoever listen, I'll talk to them, because you can't talk to everybody like this.
Right.
Because not everybody understands what I'm saying. I lose people.
Right.
When I'm talking to them, because you can see the gleam goes out their eyes. Their eyes glass over.
Okay.
True. Okay. Or they get you into another conversation.
Yeah, because something else. It's somewhere else, right?
Right.
They have to really, really be able to process what you're saying.
Right. And I think I will process what I'm saying because of reading books and some people, oh, you shouldn't read this, you shouldn't read that because you don't know what the devil has put out there. And I'm like, I don't even believe in the devil, so number one.
Right.
I realized.
Well, we're going to get a couple of people upset this afternoon.
I didn't even. I don't really believe he has as much to do in our lives as we think he does.
Right.
Because.
Well, we have a lot to do in our lives. We have a lot of
control.
responsibility. We have to take responsibility.
We have to take
right,
and
not blame it on someone.
On Satan, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of us do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, we do.
Yeah. So I think getting to the bottom of anything takes hard work.
It does.
Anyway.
It does.
Right. And sometimes we do have these things that happen to us in this life, on this journey, that give us wake-up calls.
Yeah,
that say, you know what, I just want you to be in tune with what's going on. Because, like you said, everything happens for a reason. And you're slowly figuring out the reason, why did this happen? What am I supposed to learn? What was I supposed to, garner along the way from this? And you did mention the relationship with your mom is great. So that is good, because that might have been a struggle too. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I know what you mean, because it also ties in with the way I eat, what I've eaten.
Right.
A lot of things I don't even eat when I'm a young man. I do them no more. I don't eat a lot of stuff.
What don't you eat now? What have you cut out?
Well, I don't eat a lot of grains anymore.
Okay.
I don't eat bread because it has the grains in it.
Right.
I eat green bananas. A
lot of those.
A lot of
because
those,
they have what? Well, maybe you just love them anyway. But what?
It's a lot of fiber, and it's a good alternative for bread.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you peel them yourself?
I peel them. No, I just boil them in the skin. I just wash them good, and cut them up, and throw them in water and boil them, and then peel it or eat it if I want. You can eat the skin. Banana skin is really good for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll eat that, and I don't like apples. I love mangoes. Oh, and another thing that changed for me was how I assimilate sugar. Even mangoes have sugar. They're full of sugar.
They are.
But I eat them first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Or after I drink my water, I'll eat the mango.
How much water do you drink a day?
I don't know. I need to drink some more.
Yeah. Okay. So and you don't drink milk?
No, but I'll use milk. You see, like if I'm doing potatoes, I'll do mashed potatoes with some milk in it, and it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
So, and then sometimes I'd sneeze a lot, and sneezing is just clearing your head. That's all sneezing is doing. You're not coming down with anything, because that's another area where when you're thinking, it happens to you, because you hear people saying, "Oh, if it's raining, I get a cold," and you just manifested that.
You just told yourself that.
Right.
I'm very sickly. I've always been sickly. You'll say things like that.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
What about breadfruit? I know you eat that quite a bit.
I love some of the breadfruits. I don't like breadfruit too much, but if you get a good breadfruit, I'll boil it, and the yellow heart or something like that.
Right.
I like those.
I know you made some for me years ago with sardines.
Oh, really? Yes, that was the days when I used to do a lot of that. Yes.
It's good. Yeah. Okay. Because that's good for you too. Lots of protein, as well as the fish oil. You don't eat that as much anymore?
Yeah, I do the fish oils.
Okay.
Yeah. But someone was telling me something about sardines not being too good. I don't know if it's the mercury.
Oh, okay. All right.
I believe it may be the mercury.
All right. So you're eating a lot of green bananas.
A lot of avocados. I love fruits in the fruit.
Okay.
And I love sweet fruits. I don't really like tomatoes.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I had this little thing that I wanted to share with the audience as well. It was about eating local. Okay. I was just saying, 7 benefits of kind of eating local. I might not read all of them, but local food is fresh. So obviously, local food is not coming from across the water, taking a week to get here, not knowing how long it was, where it was. So go ahead and buy local food. Even local eggs are better for you. It stays longer on the vine, or it stays longer in the ground or on the tree. So that's good. It's more nutritious. It's saying so. It's very fresh. It's nutritious. It's an opportunity to try new foods. So if you wanted to try some new foods, also it benefits the environment. less pollution and carbon footprint. You're all looking at that, right? As well as less waste and plastic packaging. It doesn't stay as fresh. You notice it doesn't stay as fresh as long. Like if you put something you bought local down, it's going to spoil quicker because it doesn't have all of the preservatives or all the stuff that's sprayed on it. Also, it supports your regional economy, so you're now supporting your local farmers, right? Your local agriculture. It also teaches you how your food is grown. That's also something that we just go to the grocery store and pick up the stuff and don't know how it's grown, and that's very important. And it's also easy. Okay, so there's the market that you can go to. There's the local section in your grocery store, and so all of those are places that you can get your green peppers. I'm sure, Cherry, you eat green peppers now? No green peppers anymore. Why?
Well, they have too much. There's some kind of poison.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's from a family, like potatoes and
Okay.
the tomatoes and the whatever. There's a word I'm looking for, but I would if somebody remembers the word. But I prefer them. If I'm gonna eat them, I'll eat the red ones.
The red ones. Okay.
Yeah, or the orange or yellow
Yeah,
ones.
red, orange,
Yeah, but
yellow. Yeah,
the
they're
green ones, they're
different.
not ripe. They're not
Yeah.
ripened. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're at different phases. Well, it does benefit us to take care of our bodies in the event that something does happen. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to what's happening with you. If anything doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. So you should go check it out. You should get yourself a general kind of practitioner doctor that you can trust, that you can go to, that you can talk to, that's not rushing you out. Don't be afraid of the doctor, because chances are if you end up having a stroke or a heart attack or you're diagnosed with something, you're going to have to deal with a doctor. So wouldn't it just be better to do that before prevention is better than cure, as the old people say?
Yes, I agree with that, but also it's good to even pick up a book or two and learn to read. Learn to read something else for yourself.
Absolutely.
Because some people depend on their doctors.
Yes.
Then you hear them castigating the doctor. Oh, he didn't do this good. He didn't do that good. How the hell?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
the heck is the doctor supposed to know what's wrong with me?
Sure.
Just
sure.
by looking at me.
Well, like you said earlier, Google is the word. So you know what? Get some books, right, about nutrition. Look at your nutrition. Look at your health. Take care of your health. Sherry, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, for sharing your story about having a stroke in 2017. I'm so happy that you're doing well. And, looking forward to you living until you're 100
or more,
and driving and walking and exercising and eating your green bananas and whatever else it is. You're from East End, so that's where all the good stuff comes from anyway. So you made a good start. Thank you once again for joining me this afternoon. Thank you all also for joining me on Straight Talk, your Drive to 5 show. This has been your Wellness Wednesdays. Thank you all again. You want to say goodbye?
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right, take care and have a great afternoon. I will talk to you again tomorrow. It will be Thursday. It's your Success 101 show, and I have a couple more of Miss Cayman Islands Universe pageant ladies that will be in the studio tomorrow afternoon. So please don't you forget to tune in. Take care and have a great evening.